It's generally agreed upon that the Angry Birds movie is not good, but I can't really see why. It's got some of the best interpretations of some of my favorite characters, so I think this movie deserves a little more credit. So today I'll be looking at the 10 main Angry Birds and rank their interpretation in this movie from worst to best. Just a few quick things before we start though. Angry Birds Movie 2 will not be part of this discussion. To put it simply, Angry Birds Movie 2 isn't really trying to be a good adaptation to Angry Birds, so it wouldn't be fair to talk about it. Okay, let's get started now. In last place, we have Chuck. There are a lot of compliments I can give Chuck. His poem was fire. His roast to Red in that one scene was also fire.
It's such a shame when you create something and someone just destroys it.
I don't mind him being the comedic relief, and I think the fact that he talks fast is hilarious. Unfortunately, it takes 10 positives to outweigh 1 negative. And, well...
Ladies, get busy! We're gonna be laying some eggs tonight! No, stop! No.
I agree with Red. No stop. No, indeed. Moving on. Number 9, we have Stella. Stella is certainly the character I have the least to say about. She seems to be based off her interpretation in Angry Birds Stella. Energetic and good with parkour. Good for her. I'm also glad her whole flock is here. That's good. Moving on. Number 8 goes to Hal. Hal is overall a very inconsistent character, but this interpretation is not brand new. Here he is based off of the Summer Picnic animation. That's cool and all, but Hal only has one consistent trait, that being that he plays the banjo. And they didn't even do that. They made him play the bongos. Such a shame. Moving on. Actually, wait, imagine Hal with a country accent.
I need a monster to claw with that there Kirby.
I'm sorry, that wasn't as funny as I hoped. Moving on for real this time. Number 7 goes to the Blues. These little buddies steal the show in every scene they're in. However, they don't really got much going on personality-wise, which is why they're so low on this list. But these little bozos are adorable. But even without personality, the movie actually got a lot right about them, such as them being canonically hatched out of the same egg. And I could be wrong about this, since I can find where this was stated, but I do believe it was canonically said that they did hatch out the same day as the Great Egg Battle. But again, I could be wrong. Moving on, this character is probably much higher than he deserves, but I'm putting a Mighty Eagle at the number 6 slot. Ace, you just lost a few people there. Give me a second to justify myself, dang it. Yes, Mighty Eagle is obviously the most different from his classic counterpart. However, it fits the story. Personality-wise, he's kinda one of them millennials that tries to be hip with the kids or something. If this movie was made today, Mighty Eagle probably would have said something along the lines of, "What's Rezzy, my skibidi sigmas?" But genuinely, this lazy, fat little slob is genuinely what this story needed. As the big man himself said, he had to make them lose faith in him so that they can learn to have faith in themselves. This was an intentional move he made. It says it all in that smile. If accuracy to games weren't a factor in this, he honestly might have gotten 2nd place. But it is a factor, so 6th place will have to do for this big bozo.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
5th place is going to Matilda, the teacher of the class of the management of the anger. Matilda is really well thought out in this movie. She has this really calm facade because, yeah, occupation, but she's really just as angry as the rest of the birds, just like in the classics. You lost a lot of viewers again. What did I do this time? You mentioned occupations. Are you kidding me? In most pieces of Angry Birds media, Matilda is generally depicted as like a mother figure to the Angry Birds. This movie kinda does that by making her the leader of the birds who are lost in Pig City, and again, making her the anger management teacher. I would say it fits the movie, but like Red said in my cringy Angry Birds in a Nutshell video, why is there anger management class when this game is literally called Angry Birds? Number 4. Why yes, I am a very biased person. How could you tell? Yeah, I may have a total of like 11 videos on this channel just dedicated to Bubbles alone. But you have to admit,
Don't mess with Bubbles!
and
I told you not to mess with me!
are both S tier. Yeah, this dude does not deserve to be in the top 5. But in my defense...
Wow! That's a lot of damage!
Okay, now it's time to take a break from the ranking to talk about the pigs. So what the hey did they do to Chef Pig? Chef Pig is meant to be like the most intimidating pig out of the bunch. And this is what you design him as? At least he gets some shots to himself, unlike Corporal Pig. This man got only 1 shot in the entire movie. If you ask me, Corporal should have at least been alongside Foreman Pig. On top of that, imagine how cool it would have been in that one scene when the Red and Bomb are trying to save the eggs and the pigs are trying to throw stuff at them to get them off, for Corporal Pig to have showed up and said, "You maggots are making it so much harder than it needs to be." Then throws one of his spare helmets at the birds, knocking them into the water. Now for the pig that intrigues me the most. Ross. It feels kinda like a crime to just have Ross without Mechanic Pig, no? Well, that's not what I find weird. What I find weird is the fact that some shots have Ross sport a similar snout to King Smoothcheeks, and other shots just don't. It is already known that King Smoothcheeks was meant to be in this movie at some point. Was he meant to straight up take the same place as Ross did? I mean, look at what's going on right now and tell me you can't imagine King Smoothcheeks getting into this kind of situation. I could just be reading too much into this though, but tell me you don't see it.
Excuse me. Have you come to smash?
Despite this, I think King Mudbeard and the Minion Pigs were done very, very well. These three pigs have more personality to them than Super Mario. Cry about it, you losers! We have reached the top 3. Not only are these 3 birds the best interpreted in the entire movie, but they are also, in my opinion, the best interpretation of these birds. Let's get started with number 3. His name's not Bobby, his name is not Judas, but it's Bomb. Bomb is pretty inconsistent. Not as inconsistent as Hal, but still pretty inconsistent. I think Bomb here is meant to be based off of the trailers being somewhat of a goofy guy. It works really well here. What really puts this dude above and beyond is, well, one, his poem, that was really fire. But also when he blew up that ramp, that was S tier.
My main goal is to blow up.
I feel like I should say more to justify this placement, but I don't really know what else to say. Just that I prefer this goofy and heroic Bomb over the chill guy Bomb. Moving on. Number 2 goes to Terrence. I've stated in the past on the Rovio Gaming Discord server that I found Terrence to be an overrated bird overall. I disagree with myself. For most people, the main appeal of Terrence is meant to be his mysterious nature. However, I was personally never a fan of his lack of emotion. Amazingly though, the movie finds an in-between. He is still somewhat mysterious, but now he shows emotion. It is shown in Billy's funeral and when he broke the slingshot that he does care about his fellow flock members. Also, he's a Sith. I also love the fact that they referenced his ability to teleport, not just in the beach scene, but also when they first arrived at Piggy Island. Most people think that's an animation mistake, but no, that's definitely 100% intentional. But now, it is time. This was never a competition. The second I decided to make this video, I knew that the number 1 slot would go to none other than Red J. Bird. I don't know where to begin here. Do I need to try to justify this placement? I mean, he is the main protagonist. I'm actually at a loss for words. Like, the best I could do right now is summarize the entire movie. You know what? I think I'll just do that. So at the beginning of the movie, Red isn't really well liked by anyone. Or at least that's what he perceives it as. He might just have trust issues after years of childhood bullying and abandonment. As far as we know, he's really the only bird in the entire island to have gone through tragedy, and none of the other birds respect that. Because of his tragedy, he's really the only one who knows how tragic the world can be. In other words, he is the only one suspicious of the pigs because he's the only one capable of suspicion. That's why he consoles Mighty Eagle. But when he finds out that Mighty Eagle is useless, he decides to take matters into his own hands. He didn't do it for fame or glory, but because if he didn't, who else will? Because Mighty Eagle certainly ain't gonna handle all that. So that pretty much sums it up. Red is the most courageous bird and deserves the number 1 slot, and if anyone disagrees, let me know in the comments.
Looks like your little slingshot game ends here.
And there was never a new slingshot game since then. I'm so disappointed. But that wraps up my ranking. I hope you enjoyed this video, because I do want to make more like this. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. It helps boost the algorithm. But with that said, have a blessed day.